Yo, no, I'm posting in the booth with the booth around the gym. Gotta get in the mood.
The fuck is up? Bitch, I'm sipping tea. Hey yo, hey, hey, bitch, I'm sipping tea. Hey yo, what the fuck is up? Bitch, I'm sipping tea. Hey yo, what the fuck is up? Bitch, I'm sipping tea. Hey yo, what the fuck is up?
Hey guys, it's Hot Hate here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Kim Kardashian West. Now, I've never really concerned myself with any of the affairs of the Kardashians or Jenners, but recently my friend showed me this video of North being face-tuned by Kim. Now, North is a very young girl, and very young children do not need Facetune. They're all so friggin' cute. God made them that way so it wouldn't throw them into a dumpster. And it just intrigued me. So I began digging in a little bit, and there is a lot going on behind that latex bodycon exterior. This is a pretty recent scandal, and one that I don't think got enough attention, and it's basically of Kim Kardashian doing swatches for her new eyeshadow palette for KKW Beauty. If you listen closely, you can hear her licking her finger to get a better swatch. Listen.
Creamy are these shadows. You guys like literally have no idea. This is like creamy are these shadows.
Like, what would have been so hard to do a retake? Like, she has people for this. Some people think that she did this on purpose to get more attention surrounding her eyeshadow palette, which, I mean, she is the person that released a sex tape to get famous. All I know is it's nasty. In an interview with Love magazine, Kim Kardashian revealed, "I always pee all over my Spanx. It's a disaster. They aren't crotchless enough." What? I just think it's so weird because it's so far from the calm, cool, collected persona she puts on. She has also been shown to not be very respectful of religion, portraying herself as the Virgin Mary on a candle in her Kimoji shop, which we know she is far from her sex tape with Reggie. And just she says overall just very ignorant stuff, like that the biggest fear of her life is getting stretch marks, which she said following her sister's pregnancy and birth. So yeah, that's strange. She also apparently did not wear underwear. In the same interview with Love magazine, she revealed she didn't wear underwear. She must have been in a real sharing mood that day. She said that God was making her fat for a reason when she was pregnant, not nature, to protect the baby through fat. God was doing it to show her that she could be ugly and she could be like this. I got so huge. She said she got really big during her pregnancy in a bad way, but that allowed you to nurture a life. So thinks that the worst thing that can happen to her is having the wrong color foundation, which, I mean, if I was a multimillionaire, billionaire, I would probably think the same way, but still pretty ignorant. So Kim K has been caught many times stealing ideas as well. No big surprise, since the rest of her family seems to like doing that as well. For one, she copied the very famous perfume bottle line of J. Paul Gaultier, and they have that signature Coke bottle, perfume bottle, and she decided she wanted her perfume to look like that as well. She also copied some clothing from Comme des Garçons for her kids' clothing line. Basically, word for word, it looks exactly the same. If you look on the screen right now, a side-by-side comparison, they're pretty similar. And also their dresses as well. Just a pro tip for Kim in the future: if you want to copy from someone, copy from a brand that isn't well known like these two, which have a cult following and which many people know of. But it would be best if probably you got your own ideas, so you wouldn't be caught. She's also been caught taking ideas for her makeup line, just like these pictures for Pat McGrath's palette. which are very similar. And not only did she borrow inspiration from Pat McGrath, but also her own sister as well, as shown by this palette. KKW and Mario palette, very, very similar to her sister's peach palette. Kim K snapped a picture of this board reading, "You can't have $1,000,000 dream with a minimum wage worth ethic," which a lot of her fans were pretty peeved about. Since she was born into a high wealth family, she's never really had to struggle to get that $1,000,000 dream because she was born into it. Her dad famously defended O.J. Simpson. Her stepfather was the Olympian swimmer Caitlyn Jenner, and Kris Jenner was this pimped out stay-at-home mom. So she's always grown up in privilege and doesn't really truly know what it's like to come up from ground up. Yeah, and also in a series of family portraits, she and Kanye played middle class, basically, is what people accuse them for. And you can kind of see that in these photos in which they are taken in like a smaller home than their, not in their mansion, in like a typical American family home. Yeah. Kim K has had to do a lot and step on a lot of backs to get to the current status that she enjoys today. One such person is Nick Lachey. He is known for his role in the boy band 98 Degrees. Kim and Lachey dated for a while at his peak, and he talked about the relationship and said, "Let's just say this, we went to a movie, no one followed us there. Somehow, mysteriously, when we left, there were 30 photographers waiting outside." Seems pretty sus, and like something Kim would do. I mean, she likes cameras on her, right? She made a sex tape with Ray J, so she denies that it launched her career, but a lot of people see that it did and think that it did, and people speculate that she and Kris orchestrated on purpose just to do this. Ray J even alluded as much, and he was one half of it. Kris also dated Chris Humphries, a basketball superstar, and she almost married him, and she did for 72 days. And she also hates on Taylor Swift, whatever. So this is one of the things that a lot of people just kind of glaze over because they don't really think that it's that big of a deal. And I didn't either until I actually looked into the issue and see how it was affecting people that she was taking from, like their culture. So basically, Kim K has a long history of taking things from black culture, like cornrows, the Fulani braids from the Fulani tribe in Africa, and crediting it to white people by calling them like boxer braids. And these braids are not just an accessory, like a hairstyle for these people. They were a tribal cultural show of black pride, and a lot of people were antagonized for wearing them, and they have a rich black history behind them, and not knowing it and yet still wearing the braids and attributing them to the incorrect people is just disrespectful. She attributed them to Bo Derek from the movie 10, and a lot of people call it the Bo Derek braids, but they are, yeah, cornrows. So especially with a daughter that is half black, it's probably best that she educate herself on these topics, especially if she wants to continue wearing these hairstyles, because they're affecting real people. And only recently was Army Regulation 670 repealed, which didn't allow natural hair that on black women, or dreadlocks, twists, all that kind of stuff. So this oppression is really real, and when black people see women like Kim Kardashian wearing it, and people praising her for it, it hurts. I'm planning on posting a part 2 to this video since I had so much extra footage and stuff that I researched that I want to include. So comment if you guys are interested in that. And yeah, that's a chicken Caesar wrap, guys.